A man has a flat tire in front of a psychiatric residence. He was dressed up to go to work. Got out the car and was furious. He said, "That darn flat tire." He went to the trunk, got the spare tire, jack, and lug wrench, and threw everything on the ground. Took up the lug wrench, yanked off the hubcap, loosened all the lugs and threw them in the hubcap, and yanked the tire off, hitting the hubcap. All the lugs ran into the nearby sewer drain.
Oh.
Really furious then. In the meantime, the residents who were looking out the window and smiling, they watched the man being frantic. Then one of the residents yelled out, "Mister, if you take one of the lugs off the other 3 tires and put them on the tire that you lost lugs for, then you can get where you're going." The moral of the story is, people who have mental health issues have a lot to offer. Hello, my name is Lealo Tyler. Retired. I was born in Brooklyn, New York. Besides me, there were 4 sisters and 5 brothers. I did not live with my parents. I lived with my mother's mother. I came from a dysfunctional family. I had low self-esteem, didn't do well in school. I didn't have anyone to help me learn. I have a mental illness, schizophrenia with a bipolar disorder. Other members of my family have this disorder. I had to build a life for myself and my children after a traumatic experience when I was younger. I recovered from the hurt and pain. I read books on self-esteem. I got my GED. After recovery, I was able to learn the trade, start working for Xerox servicing photocopiers. The job was physically hard, also mentally hard, especially being a young Afro-American female. I had a breakdown, went to the hospital. Needless to say, I lost my job. I had previously bought a house and had a hard time making payments. Several years later, when I was in my early 30s, I got involved with drugs. Addiction is an illness. Most people think you can just stop. You can't. You go through stages. I feel I did. I was curious to know why people became so lost and care so little about themselves and others. Then it was happening to me. I tried to hold on to all the good that I knew, but found myself lost to a powerful addiction. Things got really bad. Having faith in a higher power, I believe, led me to treatment. I recovered to where I wanted my life back. After treatment, I needed a new beginning. So I moved from Brooklyn, New York to the city of Utica, New York, where my daughter lived. When I arrived, I met very nice people at ARS, Adult Recovery Services, then called Club Tempo. One of them worked for Human Technologies Corporation, HTC, encouraged me to apply for a job there, and now he's my best friend. That was in 2001. I didn't know what to expect when I got to HTC. Everyone was so very nice to me. I could feel the love. It gave me a warm feeling. Right then and there, I knew this is where I wanted to be. I've worked for HTC for 11 years. Today, I'm glad to say, I came to HTC. I have learned many jobs, including embroidery, nameplate engraving, even set up an engraving machine to engrave different sizes of nameplates. I can also do shipping and learning how to sew. There are many opportunities here for people with disabilities. Our mission is a company of diverse businesses committed to enhance the quality of life with people with disabilities and other barriers to employment. Working at HTC gave me a good feeling to be with people who are somewhat like me. I had a chance to help others learn things that I know how to do. Knowledge, the more we know, the better the company. NISH, government agency, which gets our contracts, need people with disabilities to do government jobs, and we need NISH to provide us with contracts to do this fine work. I've told my story. Now I must say so long. I'm leaving HTC with a heavy heart, not because of my health issues, but because I'm leaving a wonderful family. I've been fighting cancer since 2006, 4 different surgeries. Still, that awful disease has its grip on me. Stage 4 colon cancer. Please, don't think this is the end. Only God knows when the battle is lost. Now that I have more time, I can look at my options. I tell you, I won't be doing chemo because the quality of life diminishes. There are other treatments to help the body's immune system fight cancer. Also, there are trial studies. I'm trying to see if I qualify for one of them. Like I said, this is not goodbye. I live close to HTC, and when there is something that you would like me to be here for, just call me. If I don't have an appointment, I will come. Thank you. Love everybody.
Wow, Lealo. Hey, Lealo. We don't want to add. We don't want to watch yourself. We don't want to add a broken ankle to the rest of the stuff that's going on. So it's not every day that people get to make an impact on other people's lives.
True.
Some of us choose to do that. Some of us are born with making a difference, and some of us make a difference just by how we live our lives. I've known you since 2004. And the day that we met, I knew you were a person that was out to change the world. Sometimes the world is a personal world. Sometimes the world is a bigger world. You've taught me how to be a better person living. You've taught me how to be a better CEO for this organization. Because everything that we do has to be about somebody other than ourselves, and that's how you've lived your life. And that's the most precious gift that you've given me, and I think one of the most precious gifts that you've given our entire company, is that everything you did wasn't about Lealo, it was about somebody else. And that's the message that I want all of us to be left with. That when we remember Lealo's contribution, it was Lealo's contribution to something bigger than Lealo. And I will always be grateful for what you've done. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. I'd like to say thank you to Susan Melanelski, Anna Marie Lombardo, Lee Daggett, and other people who were my supervisors while I was here. Thank you especially, Susan Melanelski, for when I had my breast cancer surgery. You came all the way to Syracuse to see me and be with me because I didn't have any family members at the time. So I say that to say this to everybody. You work for a great company. Be proud to be here and do a good job. And if you see something you don't like, don't be afraid to say something. It doesn't mean you're going to get kicked out the door. When you say something, it makes things better because you're saying, well, I need this kind of environment to work. Because when I went to Washington, one of the questions that was asked at the Ability One NISH conference was, what can you do to make your station better? So if you know that there's something that you need, don't hesitate and say, oh, I can't ask because nobody's going to listen. And if they don't listen the first time, keep telling them. Okay, I've talked enough.